we had so much on our chests is because those we would fall into a place where when the tours were coming up, they didn't want to put us in because they thought we were young, so they want to put us with the '90s group because they thought
Yeah,
they can't be with the '90s groups. Like why not? We got we got that grid.
yeah,
Then they wasn't trying to get a Millennium groups much love, so they was like yeah whatever. Then we did a Millennium tour, but they wasn't giving that era of music what it deserved. I
yeah,
mean that's just across the board, and that's just not us. That's all the artists that's in that era. Maybe we'll have our '90s moment, but at the same time, we just want to stand on something. We never gave the world a third album, so we gave them a third album. The third album supposed to be the charm. The third is supposed to be the charm, right?
yeah.
Every great artist, their third album took them to where it was supposed to be, right? So welcome to
Yeah.
the third. So welcome to the third album. You know,
But you know what?
Mike,
What
it
though, man?
it
I can say
took
this.
us long enough, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I'll say this though, man. What's a blessing is like a lot of people don't even get to like the third album.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah,
Hey,
that in itself is a blessing, man. I'm thankful for my group members. I'm thankful for the exclusives. I'm thankful for Bias. Um, and I'm thankful for like the reception that we've been getting thus far from the album. You know what I'm saying? Like
oh yeah,
it's
they calling it
it's not just
classic, man. They
yeah, like
calling it classic.
and
They
it's
saying no
not just the
skips and
fam.
everything, but that's how I feel.
I'm sorry.
Too. I feel no
Yeah.
skips. I feel it's classic. I felt like off the jump. I think my excitement came from the fact that even as a music listener, I felt like this album, it had that group element. Like you listen to it, and you be like, oh, this is a group. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You didn't think this was you didn't feel solo from none of the records. You felt
No.
harmony. You felt even the songs where it wasn't a lot of harmony, where you just felt like the intertwining of different group members, crossing paths as they go to the next section in the song. You felt those things, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? And
no,
I felt like the whole project was just screaming group.
that's what I.
And I felt like with us
That's
being
the
able to
thing when we. Yeah, that's
tackle
what.
that factor of
Yeah,
just being group in this era where there are no groups and you don't have a lot of harmonies anywhere, you don't have a lot of bridges anywhere, you don't have it was just gonna be refreshing because it's gonna be musical, we're gonna be singing, it's gonna be great records, and then we're just gonna be connecting. Because what comes from the heart reaches the heart, and we came definitely from our heart, so it is what it is.
yeah.
Hey,
That-
Mike, they want to see you smile, man. The ladies want to see you smile.
Mike saying happy ain't shit to smile about.
I'm reading comments, man. I'm on my
Hey
other
man, I,
phone
I
reading
can't
comments.
even see the comments on my end, man. It's like man
uh,
stuck.
Yeah,
oh
mine was
man.
too. That's like on my other phone.
No, okay. Well, it's all good.
No, Willie, what I was gonna say was like, and I think you hit a couple points here. First of all, I think for me, the album just felt right. It felt like a Day 26, like a proper Day 26 album. But onto the topic about like not being able to do tours, because you're right. Like, especially there was a point where Millennium artists, they weren't even looking at that. They were like, oh, it's too soon for that. But it's like, yo, it's been 20 years. Like, at what point,
Right,
right?
nigga, win.
But that's my point, right? And then even with the Bad Boy reunion, I'm like, yo, Day 26 was a huge part of Bad Boy. So
Exactly.
it's like they got to be on that too.
Don't
So,
get me started, bro. Get me
so
Big,
started.
big, but you know what I mean. People kept us out of a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, man, let me tell you something,
yeah,
man. God is amazing, man. And when the stars align, man, it just is what it is, man. I just feel like it's a season where our stars are aligning, man. This album number 3, it feels good. It's very classical. We gave it our all. They're receiving it that way. I mean, from start to finish. I haven't heard a lot of people say a lot of it's. I mean, people are being themselves on how they judging it, but it just feels good and it feels refreshing.
yeah,
So yeah,
man.
man, and that's been coming across the board. So like for me, I feel like even to my brothers, job well done, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
it for sure.
yeah. So I gotta ask you, Mike, because for as long as I've known Mike, he's like the super low key one, super humble. I know Brian's quite outspoken, so I'm gonna leave this question to Mike here, right? Because there's that clip that's gone viral where Brian been quite outspoken about how he feels like Day 26 needs to be mentioned in those top 5 conversations, which I don't disagree with, but like, just talk about for you, like, how does it feel to not be recognized as a potential top 5 group? Because you're super low key, so I'm curious on like your thoughts
Nah,
on
you
all of this.